What up, party people? Bear is out this week. He has some other engagements, so it's just myself as far as the ball head. Let's go. But we do have Los and got a homeboy Paul in here. I know he was probably on a couple of weeks ago on Bear's thing, discussing the benefits of real estate and everything. So we just want to try to get some conversations started around some other things that we have been dealing with. So I'm gonna bring them in. Los.
What's up? What's up?
More man.
Man, same old, man. How you doing, my brother?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
Say it,
Paul.
say it.
Hey, so how the week been treating you?
Baby. What
What's
up?
up,
What's good?
man? You know how I go. How the week been treating y'all?
I'm blessed, man. This whole weekend.
Yeah, man, not too bad, man. Today my day off, so I've been lazy today, buddy.
What's that?
You say what's that?
I don't know what
I
that is.
I hear you, man.
I don't even know what that is, man. I ain't had a day off, man, forever. But
Man,
so I wanted to first get into a little bit of discussions on. I was talking to Paul the other day about places, well, actually today, about places in this country that we hate going to. And how that discussion started is I got to go to Vegas for work, right? I can't stand Vegas. And we talked
Ooh.
about some of the reasons why we hate it. I can't stand Vegas. I mean, to me, Vegas is the strip anyway.
Mhm.
Is you just stepping over vomit, uh, beer bottles,
Spiritually dead people.
trying not to accept any cards from people trying to sell prostitutes.
Prostitutes' lives matter.
I
That's
mean,
what it's about.
it's dead ass. Or people offering you free limos to the strip club so you can spend money. So, I mean, I feel like personally that if you do it once, that's enough. Um,
Yeah,
how you feel about it, man? You
I
been there?
went. Yeah, I been. My first time was last year, like
Not
the year before last. First
yeah.
time in Vegas, man. Man, yo,
How you feel?
I had a blast, man. I'm not gonna lie.
You had a blast in Vegas.
Man, we stayed at the MGM, me and my cousin.
Oh my gosh.
So we right there along Las Vegas Boulevard. You know what I mean? It was different, definitely different. To the norm. Uh, those cars you was talking about, they had like a stand, bro, like right outside our door. Well, I mean, maybe because the atmosphere, it was more. Uh, I felt like I was in a somebody weed house. Man, it was. They got areas now that's specifically for people who smoke weed, and they had
Mhm.
like a big old long like place with like almost a place like where you catch a bus stop. That little canopy thing would it was heated in there, man. I mean, the boys in there blazing. Then you get like another part of the MGM in the front, and a place where you can smoke. And I mean, it was just a lot of weed smoke going on. But
When I went out there, I stuck out like a sore thumb. Like I I had a look of disgust on my face the whole time. Like I can't believe people think this is fucking fun to do. But I tell you what, I did do some sightseeing. Like I went to the spot Tupac got shot at. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was cool. Like, damn, this is what Pac.
Down the street? You
Right. I'm like, this is what Pac got
were
shot.
down the street? That's what you want to tell people? Like you
That's,
geeked
that's
out
I mean
going down the street?
that was my biggest highlight was going to that. I can't remember what street it was either, but right there on that corner.
Yeah.
I was just like, damn, Pac died right here. You can still see a little bit of the blood stain right there, right? So I was just like, whatever. That was my highlight.
Bullshit.
Listen, the
Ain't no
food,
blood stain, ain't no blood stain down there from like 20 some years ago, man.
the fucking food
As
was.
the old people say, you out here joshing.
Oh, you could see the spirit of Suge and Pac right there. You know, you can see it, man.
All right. That's
wow.
coming. Okay, cool. I will say one of the times I went out there, it was for the Pacquiao fight. And we stayed at the
What?
Venetian.
Who?
Pacquiao.
Okay.
Yeah, we drove up from LA and we stayed at the Venetian. If I got to stay somewhere, that's where I'm gonna stay. If I got to be in there, but I'm not going anywhere near the strip. anymore.
Oh,
I'm
don't
doing
believe
it
that.
every year. Yeah, I had to do it every year for this conference, man, and I got burned out on it. And we talked about Miami, didn't we? Uh,
Yeah, Miami's played. I hate to,
Dirty.
I hate to break it to you. But let me bring up L.A. For the
All
love
right.
of God.
What you got to
L.A.
say about LA?
LA is the most. LA. Okay, so if you look at America,
Mhm.
LA would be the equivalent of a highway rest stop bathroom. That's what LA is to me. It is the
Really, really,
Wow.
were you down in Tent City?
it is the bathroom that you walk in that says for a good time call such and such. It's fucking horrible in LA. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I beg you differ. I don't know where you were. Like I said, were you down in Tent City or what?
I
Skid
drove through.
Row?
I drove through. I had the Uber guy drive me through Skid Row, right? But that's not. I was in West Hollywood. Somebody told me don't go west. I was in West Hollywood, so I got to see what's that church religious? Your religion, grade Scientology. So I got to see your religion. Uh, they know you too. They know your ass too.
Buddha, nah.
It was fucking horrible. It was horrible.
So where in the United States do you like to go, my friend? I mean, you done hit two of the spots. You just said that you hated the worst place ever. Where do you like to go?
I'm gonna be honest with
Yeah.
you. I'm gonna be honest with you. I fucking like Houston. I like Dallas and Houston. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay. All
I don't like Atlanta. I like Dallas and
right.
Houston.
so I
Yeah,
so I
Atlanta.
so I take you. So I take you there with the freak nick. Then I guess.
Ah,
Do I look that old? Because I should have been there, but I
you
mean,
didn't go. We went. I went. Yeah. So
you didn't go to you went to Freaknik?
what?
You went to Freaknik?
Absolutely.
Damn.
It was actually one of the years right before they killed it, man. We couldn't even get hotel rooms, man, down there. They didn't want to rent to you if they thought you were there for Freaknik. And man, it was
Oh
wild,
wow.
man. I mean, it was everything that they said it was. I mean, everybody was down there. Iverson, Penny was there. You seeing Outcast, you saw everybody was out there, and it was as chaotic as they say it was. I mean,
You
believe
and
people when they tell you
you
what.
want
Do you think we need a Freaknik again? Do we need another Freaknik?
Nah,
nah, not in today's society. It
don't think
wouldn't
you
be the
could do
same.
it. I don't think you could do it the way it was.
No,
I mean, there's too much, man.
nope.
That there's too many cameras and everything, and people got away
There
from
was cameras back then, man.
it was
but
chaos.
but not it ain't as bad as it is now though. You know what I mean? You couldn't relive those moments like that not with today's
It was a
technology.
Here's the beauty. Here's the beauty of the show BMF, right? So this is the first time I've ever seen this, right? This is not the show, but they actually reenacted it. Like last week's
Last
episode
week's
was a
episode,
reenactment
yeah, was reenacted
of,
at Freak Day.
yeah.
Yeah,
yes. And I
so
was like, God, they were showing real like footage
mm-hmm,
and mixing it in with whatever. But
Right.
mm-hmm.
if it was anything like that,
Yeah,
shit.
it was thick. It used to be thick.
So let's talk about BMF. The one thing that's bothered me now is you used to be able to tell who was from Detroit, right? Immediately.
Right.
When you hear that "What up, though," right? That is a telltale sign that somebody is from Detroit. And now it's just everywhere because people are watching BMF, right? And they don't have any idea of what it really is up there. So that kind of irks me.
What like I'm gonna tell you what I don't like about BMF. And I'm a 50 Cent fanatic. What I don't like about BMF is the fact that Lamar, the antagonist, right? He fucked around and choked out a cop, escaped the hospital, shot Meech in front of the cops. They brought him in to question him, like, Meech, tell us that was him. Like, nigga done killed your cop. Yeah, I mean, he
And
shot him up.
hey,
Like, what is, I don't,
he's BMF's Omar.
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, and
but
and that's and that character actually that guy wasn't really like what I mean to that extreme, but you got to figure though, man. 50, what I mean. He got to make things for television. What I mean. You got to fill in some spots. You can't make it actual word for word how they really was in real life like that. But you got to spice up the drama for the TV. I mean, I think Come Situation did That actually didn't happen. Actually, you know what I mean. But just for television purposes, you know what I mean. They had to put the drama in there, but
They didn't. I mean, it's wild.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
wild there.
it's wild. Yeah, yeah, yeah. The D is wild for sure.
Man.
I mean, you was rapping G Nights. I've been there. I got family that's just in
Uh,
Lansing, so
yeah, we wrapped
yeah,
up
yeah.
5 years.
Detroit is scary. It is very
Detroit is different.
Man, just stay your ass off the east side and you all right. I mean, you go over there, Madeline, man, that's your ass. I mean, you know no business
I've
there.
never seen so many abandoned, burnt down trap houses in my life. When I went, and let me tell you right now, the fucking Coney is overrated.
Coney Island.
Man,
Yeah,
Yeah,
the only thing about Coney is great drunk food. Because you can go in there at any given time and get whatever you want. They got everything for you. And you can find them on every corner. Yeah, they overrated. It's basically
it's
like,
a, it's the White Castle of hot dogs. It's
but
fucking
back in the day, those used to be popping like in the early '80s.
but don't
Mid
nobody ever
'80s.
even get hot dogs there. That's what's hilarious. Anybody that you know that go through there, they don't even eat the hot dogs, man. That's
okay. Well, I was out of town.
you're a
Yeah,
tourist.
yes, it says. So you heard about it, had to go hit it up, huh?
I had to go hit it up.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. We would get miscellaneous stuff from there. Oh, but Los, I do have to show you the shirt for the day.
Okay, let's see what we got going on.
Get everybody to be able to get it. It would be great. So it's a QR code,
Let's
right?
close. Mm-hmm.
All right. I know y'all
So
heard
if I scan that, what am I gonna get? Like a picture of a devil, a white girl? What's gonna happen?
Hey, it's the Rick
What's happening?
Rolling. You know what Rick Rolling is, right?
Yeah.
I absolutely don't.
All right. So when people try to troll you online, they'll send you this link and this Rick roll. So Rick Astley, it'll send you straight to that never gonna give you up, right?
Okay, yeah,
So if you were to scan this code, it's gonna send you directly to that.
interesting.
It's very
So no free ride, no free Coney hot dog, none of that shit. Just straight to the YouTube.
that's what it is.
All right,
That's
I
what it
like it.
is. Yeah.
You should have put one on the back. You should have put that QR code on the back as
Hey,
well.
yeah, we gotta talk to Ann about that. She the one that got it. So yeah, I need to fix that. Um, but to switch lanes a little quickly on this, I was talking to Paul earlier about the crypto concept and what's going on with that, and then we thought that might be good for us to bring to the forefront because a lot of people may not really understand what it is or where it's going and just what it looks like. So, Paul, who are you
Yes, sir.
invested in right now, or do you want? Well, go ahead and tell me who you're invested right now. Yeah,
As far as crypto is concerned,
yeah,
I'm keeping it simple. So, like right now, what I'm studying on. Let me say this first. What I'm studying is DeFi right now, right?
okay,
Because that truthfully is the wave in crypto. That is when I say the wave, like that is where you're gonna really make the most money from crypto is in DeFi. But I'm still invested in. I got some Shubu, I got some Dodge still. I still got some Ethereum, and I still got some Bitcoin. I got some Bitcoin Cash, um, and I'm looking into a few tokens. So one of the tokens I got is MetaMask, but I'm looking into a few different tokens. Like I said, DeFi is where it's at. So I've been hitting it hard, trying to pick up little tidbits. I bought a course on it. That's where the future of crypto is headed. Outside of the blockchain technology, but that's where it's headed. But yeah, blockchain technology, AI, crypto. If we are not at least picking up a book or buying a course, at least start following people online to kind of get familiar with this shit because this shit ain't going nowhere. Matter of fact, it is here to stay and it's going to get more advanced as we go along. So,
absolutely. And I don't want to insult anybody's intelligence, but just in case somebody is on here who doesn't have an understanding of what it looks like, this is a monetary way of fully controlling your money. Um,
that's
Everybody is
DeFi.
outside of it. So your wallet is you completely. It can't be taken from you. It's there. It's so secure that it's you. But what a lot of people are looking at is trying to upend the way that we look at uh, the financial market. Banks, everything is going to change as far as that goes. And I am into this book right now about quantum cryptography. right? And getting heavily into the whole blockchain aspect of it. But I mean, if you talk to certain people, they will tell you that, the concept of money as we know it is almost done. Maybe in 30 years, it'll be gone. There will be no cash. There will be no need to have cash. There will be no credit cards or debit cards. Everything that you have will be owned by you until you give it to somebody else.
Mm.
Yeah, that's facts. So, let me ask you this. I know I don't want to switch gears too
No,
far,
go
but
ahead.
we're talking about cash. What do you think about that proposal? It might not never happen, but I just want to get y'all take on this. What do you think about that proposal in San Francisco
Not gonna.
for reparations?
Um,
Not gonna happen, right?
I think
$5 million,
it's not gonna
$1 houses for black people, and $5 million for every black resident.
it's not gonna happen. I mean,
Nah.
Yeah,
as much as they are championing it, it's for one, the state. So they're not going to get federal to do that, right? So now you're relying strictly on the state's income, what they have in their coffers and whatnot, right? They don't have the money to give every black person that has been there for, what did they say, you had to be there for 10 years,
10 years.
um,
Mm.
or you have a relative who had been there that had been there for what, 20 years, or if you were a descendant of a slave that was there in California. Now that didn't happen,
Wow.
right? So
Do
that's
you think
hard.
we just do you think black people deserve reparations?
I think we deserve something, honestly, because you look at areas where people took land, and it's so much free labor that was given. Somebody deserves to be paid for it. The way they played
Mhm.
sharecroppers, the way that the land was supposed to be given. The mules, right? 5 acres and a mule. They were supposed to be given that. Now, if you do that shit, if you justify that, or you adjust it for inflation, what would that look like? Right? You have a family of, say, you had a family at that time of 5 people, right? They increased to 10 people. Next is 30 people. Next is 50 people. Going down through the generations. What would that generational wealth look like at this point?
Mm.
Who do you think should be responsible for paying the money?
The government.
Okay, so I don't agree with that.
You know,
I don't agree with that.
we got trillions for Ukraine. We got money
I
for
think
them.
well, I don't. So the people that should be responsible for majority of reparations
Mm.
are the companies that benefited from it. Those companies still exist today.
Guess what? What did they do?
They still
What did they
exist
do
today.
after the Civil War? Right? They took all that land from the insurrectionists, the treasonists, and but they gave it back to them. Right? That land was supposed to be promised to the free people. Right?
So that's correct. Now the government, they did pay the slave owners reparations
So
for
why,
lost wages.
so why can't we
They
get it?
should
Yeah.
they should pay a portion, but the companies who benefited from slavery,
Mhm.
and the government needs to pay a little bit as well. But definitely you got to hold it. Those fucking companies still exist.
Well,
They're still here.
well,
They're still here.
for the company that's still around there, yeah, okay, government, y'all get with them and y'all pay these people off.
Man, I want to check.
Yeah, I mean, I think we deserve that as a people.
And it got to be a six-figure check, man.
But
It got to be a
but then we gotta
six-figure
look at it
check.
like this: we still not considered American citizens, though. Still to this day, us as Black Americans. So I mean,
How you say that?
what you think that might play a big role? That I mean, they gonna like y'all ain't even American citizens anyway. We don't owe y'all crap. So
I pay taxes.
Yeah,
true.
as why, right? We pay taxes. We are subject to the same laws. I got a passport that says I'm a United States citizen. Um,
But under
but
the Constitution,
some
though.
of the concepts that when I say the government, I mean we gave Japanese Americans money because they locked them up in the internment camps. They,
But the government gave everybody motherfucking
but
money
us,
except
It's except the right people.
well,
you niggas ain't getting shit. You
yeah,
niggas ain't getting shit.
Yeah, shit.
and all day long. Yeah,
Yep,
I mean,
yep.
it's crazy when you look at
And
it,
it's
but
fucked up.
it's not gonna go because when it comes to everything else, it's considered all right. We did you wrong. But in order for them to accept the concept of reparations for Black people, they have to acknowledge that yes, they may have benefited in that they're, you know, a lot of white people love to say how they pulled themselves up from the bootstraps or their grandfather did. The concept of reparations acknowledges that they weren't who they thought they were, right? It destroys their whole narrative, and they're not willing
I,
to
the,
accept it.
the only credit, the only argument that they have, in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, the only argument that I believe, if I was the government, if I was a white person, I would be like, listen, I love Black people, but I gotta be honest with you, y'all weren't, y'all were considered property.
Mhm.
When you were a slave, you were considered property. You weren't considered anything else. You were considered like cattle. So how can we pay cattle?
Mm.
How can we pay property? How can we do that? That's the only argument to me I think they got, is that we were considered property. We weren't considered people. You know, that's just my opinion.
Yeah, that's
Other than that, they don't have a leg to stand on to me.
uh, they really don't have a leg. Period. But
I don't. Yeah,
For the sake of
for the sake
argument,
of
like,
argument, yeah, I see what you're
yeah,
saying on that. Yeah, yeah. They they
you know,
they would definitely try almost anything, probably not to give it to us. Which I mean, that's why y'all say it probably won't even happen anyway. But
well, so if you were to get all these people that are detractors of this, right? Get them to do a 23andMe. What do you think's going to show up?
sub-Saharan African.
Exactly. So
I'm,
you were saying that your family doesn't deserve the just due because the thing is, yes, they're related. They could have second or third cousins that are Black, and they will be in a way better financial situation than their cousins. How did they not see a problem with that? Now, if you want to do it, then let's see where they are, right? Okay, you're great on that. Share the wealth.
so another, another argument the United States government could have, or the companies who were involved in the transatlantic slave trade could have.
mhm.
This is gonna blow y'all fucking mind, because I don't think nobody's talked about this.
Go.
You got to keep in mind, before they hit America, they was dropping niggas off in South America,
Of course.
right?
Mhm.
So if you give these niggas in America money, you gotta give them niggas some money too.
No,
Now I'd rather take the US dollar versus the Venezuela dollar, but you know what I'm saying?
no,
You
that's
gotta
on there. I mean, it's no different than when you start talking about Australia, right? And they started the process. First, they issued an apology, right, to the natives there, um, which is a step, in it. And then they're looking at being able to compensate them. So, I mean, overall, the United States is one of the few countries that just refuse to accept it.
Mm.
And they love to say, all right, white people been getting it based on welfare. Well, we know we don't make up the major percentage of
No, we don't.
welfare. We
Nah.
don't, but that's the narrative that they love to push. And he's like, come on,
Yeah.
man, we're not getting that. That's not us.
Yeah.
But they want to pick on us. They don't want to talk about, West Virginia and everybody fentanyled up out there.
if Donald Trump ran on the
Oh my
platform
God.
getting reparations, would you vote for him?
Absolutely, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, okay,
I can't stand that dude.
not even for the betterment of all the Black people to get a check. You said you like, fuck it, you gonna sacrifice, Greg, you gonna sacrifice all the Black people in America getting a check. We can't get your vote for Trump.
Nah,
Okay,
I ain't
that's
with it.
fine.
Ain't nothing that dude can tell me. He could bring me even
I'm,
Longoria, and I still don't want that. I still
What if he delivered the check personally to you? Here, Greg, here's your reparation check, brother. You ain't gonna vote for? Okay,
nah.
nah, I vote for him either, man. I didn't the first time around, man.
I have some standards, man. It ain't gotta always be
Yeah,
about money. And
yeah. I don't know.
so maybe if I was hungry, that might be a different situation. But I ain't starving or whatnot. So no, I ain't doing it now. I know you. You know we used to argue about this shit constantly. Low, he crossed the line.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
you was out there with the people on there attacking the Capitol building.
You know what? I actually entertained the thought of going, but Trump was just at the Mississippi Valley Fairground here.
Man,
Oh,
he
okay.
hell.
I rolled
Yeah,
past.
man, I mean that guy, man, I don't see what people seeing him like that, bro. Honestly, to me, he crossed the line when he was talking about those black athletes. So I look at him and blah blah blah. I mean, the guy's racist, man. Point blank and simple, which you know.
So I
I mean, who ain't racist? I think
True,
we're
true,
all
man.
racist.
I mean, but I mean, there's the things that come out your mouth. You know what I mean? Just show me what type of guy that you is. You know what I mean? I mean, you really wasn't shit anyway from the beginning. I mean, I don't know what people think he does, but this guy got all these business and they failed, and he take the little money doing and start up something else, and they fell again. So I mean, he's a failure for one.
I don't think he's racist. I will go on record
He's
saying
a
that.
narcissist. That's for damn sure.
That's what it is. But he wants to be loved, and that's all it is. He'll do whatever. Who in the hell lets Kodak Black out of prison? Why would you do that dumbass shit?
Hey, he should have freed Big Meech, man.
That's
free,
what he should have did. Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
But Kodak Black,
He was trying to get with us. He was trying to get with the people, man.
Trump is
he
so
just
good at that.
he just wanted.
Him and
Um,
Lil Wayne. He got Lil Wayne pardoned too from off
Now
that.
that was something I wanted to discuss because Wayne got a lot of heat in the black community for doing that,
Mhm.
but a lot of people were like, "Yo, he had to do what he had to do."
At least he
To
didn't snitch.
he
Yeah.
didn't. He just went to the dude and was like, "Yo, what can you do for me?" And the dude did it. So I don't feel like we can be mad at him for that. You
I
know,
No,
think I think Donald Trump is so fucking stupid. He's so wild. He literally was trying to get ASAP Rocky out of jail. Went on Twitter like, get ASAP Rocky out of jail. Get it, and then couple months ago, he disses his wife. He says that was the worst performance ever. I said, what is wrong with this man? This man is in fucking
man,
insane.
he
That's
is though.
hilarious, man.
But one thing I can say though, I mean, he was a gangster though, far as like how he was in the
Absolutely.
White House though. I
Absolutely.
mean, he did things his way like he wanted to. That's one thing I do respect about him though. But
man,
Is
he
the
was trying to
man
run
going
it
to
like
you
jail?
a trap. He was trying to run it like a trap,
know,
and that
so
doesn't work. And that doesn't work, man. You just can't be out here like, oh, I don't like them over here. Well, why can't we just go bomb them
we
people?
gonna go bomb them joints. Let's get them, man. Let's go to war. I'm going to war. Y'all can't tell me I can't go to war. Well, I'm
Yeah,
going as
I'll go to
me.
war. I got the code. I got the nuclear football over here. I'll go do it. Like, nah, man, that ain't how this works, man. I mean, you done got everybody murked out here.
And almost did, man. That dude from over there in China was going to send a nuclear warhead over here, man, to kill us all. For
I
real.
will say he did leave a very infected political atmosphere with the Ron DeSantos and the Marjorie Green Taylors. He gave
Yeah,
and a few ones that we probably don't even know that's in the background, just twisting strings and whatever.
yeah,
But he left a very unstable political climate and kind of social climate as well. Kind of
yeah,
fucked.
yeah. Because when he didn't get reelected, bro, that started almost a war with
Yeah.
people, bro.
It's
It
just
was
sick. Like I'm watching some of these satiric comedy shows, and they're on the streets, interviewing Trump supporters. And one motherfucker said they blame Obama for 9/11 because he wasn't in office.
That's his fault, right?
You were like, why do you think it was his fault? Well, he wasn't in office enough. He was always playing golf. So if 9/11 is his fault.
Uh,
Like you can't be serious.
man, yeah. That's
that
crazy, but
was like 22 years old when that happened, man. Like,
yeah, for
You know what I'm
real,
saying? Like, what the fuck is wrong with people?
they crazy, man.
it's a selective narrative, man.
Yeah,
People will tell themselves whatever it is to make it seem like they're on the right side of history, right?
They're on the far right side.
Well, yeah, they feel like they, yeah,
Far
all
right.
right, damn it, all the way right around the corner, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean they are nuts, but he didn't do anything but expose the country for what it was. This
Yep.
was this wasn't this just pop up. This has been forever. But they felt like, all right, he's saying it. I can come out, come out in the open, and I
Right.
personally like it that way. At least let me
Yeah.
know. It's like being in the
So,
South, right? The South will let
Something, but you know. Yep.
you
Yeah, they
tell
definitely will.
that you are not welcome here, and you'll operate accordingly. Cool. At least I know what
so
y'all.
Mhm.
speaking of, so recently, a situation is you getting a lot of speed virally of a guy that he was he didn't have a car to get back and forth to work, so people were picking him up. This is in Mississippi, and
Oh, fortunate. All right.
and they so one night he was walking and he felt like somebody was following him. He felt like, it was three trucks with white guys following him. So he ended up going to the police station. He ended up calling 911, and then he just ended up going to the police station. And he was like, I think these guys are, trying to harm me, whatever, whatever. So then his ride picked him up from the police station. And I think the next day he was walking again. Bottom line is he went missing for a month. When they found his body, they found his skull severed and
Mm.
his spine detached from his body. And they haven't found the other body parts. But the police say no foul play.
Wow. Yeah.
It's Mississippi, man.
Mississippi.
Mississippi, bro.
It's Mississippi.
Mississippi.
Yep.
Man, my people are from there, and I remember when we used to go down there. When we were kids, and we coming from up north, right? I had some family that was outside of Chicago too, and we would all go down there, and we didn't get it. I'm like 7, whatever, and they would tell us, all right, you walk into the store, you be quiet. You speak to somebody, they speak. You don't say anything other than speak to them. Y'all stay together and stay on the sidewalk. And we didn't get it coming from up north, but yo, it was real. I mean, get your ass Emmett Till down there.
Isn't
Mhm.
that horrible?
It's still that way
It's
though.
still
I
that
mean,
way in
isn't that
some
horrible?
parts.
Can you
Look,
can you imagine? Like, I've never really seen. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never seen a attractive racist person. Every racist person I know looks like the hills have eyes. I cannot imagine having that much hate for somebody.
It's
I mean,
it's it's
it's
it's
almost
it's it's
juvenile.
it's how they was raised though too.
yeah, I was gonna
Like
say it's
like
learned. It's a learn.
so they teach this to our generation, different generations. You know what I mean? Like where I'm from down in Tennessee, you know what I mean? It's still a lot of it going on. I mean, it's something still going on down there. But those like you said, man, they'll let you know down there, let you know if they'll like you or not.
Hmm.
Um, but I mean, it's taught like through different generations of family, man, and some of them break it, some of them don't. You know what I mean? Some of them break off, and some of them got kids by black people. You know what I mean? And it's
Are,
how it is, though. But
are all white people racist?
not all.
I think that is
Is the system racist? The
the
structure.
system. The system is
System.
the system is designed for the people who.
Yeah,
How
yeah,
about that?
yeah.
That's fair.
Who designs a system that doesn't work in their benefit in their favor?
Exactly.
That's fair.
Nobody does that, and it's almost like the system wasn't even made to exclude people. It was made to work for them.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, but I mean, there are race people in every country, right? Anywhere you go. But I can tell you what, I mean, being out of the country shows you that everybody doesn't operate that way. And when you're out of the country, you don't feel like an American black person, right? We walk around here, we're always looking at our surroundings, right? Trying to see what's going on. You don't feel like that over there. I mean, in Europe, you don't feel like that. It's like, damn, this is the one time that you can be like, okay, you feel like a person,
Right.
right? Like an equal level person that you don't get over here. We on high alert. That's why black men's life expectancy is what, 60?
Is it?
Yeah, you cannot.
Nigga, not mom living forever.
Yeah, we operate
Yeah,
at
no,
a
but this thing
level.
that we
if
fine.
it's not in this body,
But
Uh,
but
somewhere else.
reason why it's that is because heart disease, and it's not strictly about your diet. It's about operating at a high level of stress, right? You cannot function with adrenaline running through your body constantly.
Let
That's
me
what
ask you.
we deserve.
No.
Let me play devil's advocate then.
So what's up?
Would you feel comfortable living in a all black, majority black city? Because black people we handle shit differently, man. Like when I went to Atlanta, it was like the fucking Twilight Zone. I couldn't wait to see a white person. It was so many motherfucking black people. I didn't know what the fuck to do. It was like I went to Walmart. It was black music. I thought it was a club. It was just fucking bananas to me. I couldn't even. It was bananas. It was the best experience I've ever seen. But I walk into a Walmart here. You might be the only black person every 20, 50 people, right? So I'm used to it. I'm programmed. Went to Atlanta and I looked around. I ain't seen a white motherfucker for 7 days. I said, God damn, not one.
Not one.
Not one.
That's how it was in Detroit, man. I
Yeah,
mean,
that's how it is.
you could go weeks without seeing a white person as long as you stay within the city proper. You could do that. Now, I don't feel like we need to do that because what a lot of black people lose sight of is we know we ain't all good.
Of
Just like
course not,
anybody else. Some of us be on some bullshit, right? And
man. Of course.
so, yeah, so if you corral a bunch of motherfuckers, you're gonna get a percentage of people that's on some garbage. And we don't do halfway garbage. That's the problem.
We gonna win. We gonna win. We fucking gonna win.
It's dangerous, right? When you decide that we gonna go this route, then this is all people on deck.
It's zero to 100. Super fast.
above and beyond.
Everything is happening, right? But I don't feel like I need that in order to feel comfortable. I feel like I just need to be in a liberal place, right? And I'm not saying that like, okay, you fucking allies. I don't believe in that shit like that. Like, okay, because you can't be there with me when you can turn around and go out and you are good that day. So it's a toss up. I mean, I think everybody needs to deal with a little bit of diversity, and it's us included. Um, you know, what's wrong with having Hispanics and Asian people around? I think we need a decent mix. I don't think just a place with just black people is the
It's
solid.
good.
I
That
think
if I was a Mexican, I would be pissed off because anytime you hear about America, it's always black and white. I'd be like, damn, we live here too, motherfucker. Matter of fact, we up in numbers. Like you never hear Mexican talking that shit. It's always black and white people, black and white people. Never. It's a bunch of Mexicans. It's just as many Mexicans as it is black.
If not more.
If
Over,
not more, yeah.
man.
if you're not white, you are pretty much black. I mean that's a wide spectrum right there. Unless you're Asian, they'll get a little bit of props and everything because they can jump out here, but they still not the same. And
Yeah.
nobody should get it confused that you are completely equal in this country. Now, the thing I will say about some Mexicans I know, which is really odd to me, they are all on board with making sure people can't come in the country. I'm like,
Listen,
doesn't make sense to me.
did you see the guy that he was a border patrol agent, 20 years, Mexican border patrol agent. The nigga went to go. I mean, he on get the fuck out. You ain't an American, straight hardcore, right? Decorated border patrol agent. The nigga went to go renew his status, and they found out he was here illegal 20 years, and they booted his ass out to Mexico. Don't you love America, baby? Oh,
Land of the free, home of the brave, huh?
Hey, he took on with whoever he was sending back. Like,
listen,
homie.
listen, man, that's just so
Hey,
poetic.
that's
Yeah.
It's so poetic. I want to switch gears real quick. This is on
what's
this.
up? What you got?
What do you like? I don't know if y'all follow this shit, but I follow this shit. This is just mind blowing to me. What do you guys think about all these female fucking teachers fucking with these little kids. Every other week, it's a teacher going to jail, bro, for fucking kids. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm start
I
off.
don't seeing this shit,
I'm gonna start off by saying I don't know if our teachers were like resurrected, but I don't recall seeing a single teacher that
bro.
I would be
None.
interested in.
I
Like,
wouldn't none. Zero.
like I mean, they were all elderly as hell, and I'm like, these don't look like teachers though. Like,
Right, that's what it is.
They don't.
what? Like, I
What's
mean,
what's mentally wrong with these? What's wrong with these women? What do you look at? Like you a 30-something-year-old woman, and you're looking at a 13-year-old kid. What
well, we talked about this.
it smells like mayonnaise. What the fuck are you? I don't even get it.
We talked about this a few casts back on how it's acceptable for boys to be with like an older woman, right? But it's not acceptable for girls. And it's basically discounting the fact that, yo, boys are out here being molested, basically, right?
I think it's more boys get molested than females. It's fucked up. Fucked up.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know if that's numbers.
That's kind of yeah. That's
I don't know. That might be a little sketchy right there. That's
But
sketchy.
you know what?
yeah.
But how many men are gonna admit that?
Well, men do, as far as it's like a woman, men admit that. I mean, it's a badge of
Yeah,
honor. Like, come on.
yeah,
You know how we grew up. I mean, uh, be excited and people would praise you for it, you know.
Oh, so I guess what I was saying was like more boys are molested by men.
Oh, okay.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah, that's a touchy subject to
Yeah,
some that's the
that's one that doesn't get discussed. It's like you don't hear about women molesting girls. It
yeah,
happens,
yeah,
but people don't discuss it. But I think the only thing you really hear about um, on the level of disgust is men so-called molesting girls, right? I mean, on the boys aspect, when you hear that about these older teachers, it's just a matter of the courts, right? Um, it typically comes from them telling somebody about it,
yeah.
and
And they threw it out of proportion, probably.
happy, and they like, yeah, they happy for them. I don't even think a lot of the parents end up pressing the charge. They should, because they put your child in a place that he shouldn't be, right?
What do you like as the husband? He's got to feel like a fucking oh my god.
Like he ain't doing his, he ain't handling his business.
Oh,
I know something from personal experience. I was hot ass back when I was in school. I was 17 years old. My bus driver, she was 47. You know what I mean? We ain't been fucking for a couple years. You know what I mean? To the point
you hit
where,
it.
oh man, we was man. I mean, I used to drive her vehicle, so I
Oh
skipped
shit.
school, bro. Like she'd drive
Oh,
the bus to school.
oh my god.
See, we had security guards at our school. So me and
So
my
what, she
buddy,
like she
me and my
about
buddy
70.
hide, me and my
She
buddy
about
hide on
70
the
right
bus.
now.
Yeah, about 6. Yeah, close to it. But I mean, but she was Italian, man. You know what I mean? And man, it was to the point where uh, like her kids went to another high school, and me and my buddy be driving they family car up at the high school with the daughter and the son. The son didn't like it. The daughter was cool.
Oh
But my
my god.
daughter, the daughter started, you know what I mean, was messing around to cut my guy, you know what I mean? But it was like you said, bro, I wore that like a badge of honor, 'cause, man. Everybody resented me to the point where, I was letting people tell who can and can't ride the bus, I'm a kid, though, you know what I mean? We was in this thing. Yeah, we was in this thing, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't understand. Like I mean, that's about the only person. I mean, like teachers, no, but I mean, but her, yeah, man. And they got the word got around to the point that other bus drivers like, yo, you got some buddies, and I mean, that's how deep it was getting, man. You know what I mean? But how I grew up, though, you know what I mean? My mentality, I was always hung around older people anyway. So um, I wasn't an average 17-year-old, man. I was out here
I
getting
mean,
money, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Doing.
right.
Some of us, some of
Let's
us wouldn't even. Some of our parents, I think, wouldn't even be here if it wasn't, because like I look at like the color purple. It's a great. I use this analogy all the time. I look at the color purple, and the way marriage was structured was literally, hey, please take my daughter. And this motherfucker like 30 something or 26 and his daughter 13, 14. You feel me? So like for instance, my grandpa was light years older than my grandma. You feel me? And I ain't the only motherfucker that can say that. That's my age.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
lot of grandpas were older than your grandma. You feel me? Because
Hmm.
that shit just wasn't, it just is what it is. But obviously that's not shouldn't be like that. But
So I think a lot of it's a societal change, right? Because back then you were considered, if you were childbearing age, you were considered a woman, right? So societal changes have decided, like, who chose 18? That's a weird ass number to choose of when you're an adult, but you're not
Yeah.
really an
No,
adult.
no.
Or you can vote, you can buy a lottery ticket,
you
but you
can't
can't
drink.
drink. You can't,
You can't get no beer though, but you
kind
can
of
get
grown,
beer.
right? You're just a little bit grown. You
Yeah.
mini grown, right? So it's weird, and it's this is mainly like a U.S. thing about how they have these weird little steps that you have to take to be considered an adult. But that has been something that progressed, and I think that's a question that we should have for everybody: who decided these ages?
Yeah, like you could put
Mhm.
a 16-year-old in a 3,000-pound machine and say, okay, you're fine. You're good. Go get on the highway, drive. Yeah, it's fucking weird. It's fucking weird.
Yeah, you
Mhm.
get a license, you can drive, but don't you dare try to buy some beer.
Don't buy no liquor though.
No, you can't
Yeah.
do that. No, 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 no. You can't do that, and you
Here's
can't
the keys to a
celebrate.
3,000-pound machine. Go ahead, you straight.
You cannot celebrate your return from your tour of duty with a beer because you're 19.
But on
Yeah,
cross seas, he getting lit on cross seas.
Like, how does that work? So it's crazy. And then we look at, like, so we have a weird situation here, down here, because I'm right on the border of Missouri and Kansas, right? Like,
two big slave states.
yeah, not yet. We can come back to that. We can come back to that.
That's a massa.
But you can, on Kansas side, you can get an abortion, but you can't buy weed. On the Missouri side, you can't get an abortion, but you can buy weed. And it's like, what is the logic in that though? How
Yeah,
make it make sense to me?
yeah,
But
that's crazy.
so to take you back to what you were talking about, Missouri was a free state. Kansas
Yeah.
was an actual slave state, and
The racism is mwah, just
well,
it's fabulous.
so you got, and we
Top,
go.
top tier, baby.
It is, and like
Yeah, I
even
know.
where I live right now, I mean, so J.C. Nichols was a dude that did he built a bunch of these suburbs, right? And you can find these houses that are a little bit older where you can still get the deed where it says it cannot be occupied by a Negro.
That's interesting.
Wow.
They
That's
still exist, right? And they tore down his statue in the plaza down here a couple of years ago. But if you go on the other side, you go on Missouri side, and you go by Troost, man, it looks like pretty much every other hood you will see, man. Liquor store, church, cell phone place, pawn shop, right? Every block is just that. You know what I'm saying? But if you come over here, man, you can't even find somewhere to sell you any alcohol after 10 o'clock.
Dang.
Everything's down. They like,
Wow.
nah, you can't do it. And that's a matter of blocks, man. You cross over that border. So it's weird. It's state line road. And you could literally be on this road, depending on which way you're going, that depends on what state you're in.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
So
Do
it's
you
different
agree with the tearing down of statues?
Um, I kind of do, mainly because it depends on what they're talking about. Now, if there was no way that they should be supporting Confederate, generals and everything, they were treasonous, right? So why are you building statues to them? I mean, this is the United States. Just because they're back now, why would you build a statue for somebody in Georgia that
It's
basically tried to overthrow the government?
it's just it's weird to me that
It shouldn't have been erected in the first place.
that's true, but at the same time, if you tear down the statues, if you start changing names of schools and shit like that, then it's I'm telling you, it's reverse psychology. It's almost like this shit never happened.
The
Um,
Jedi mind trick.
I
I'm
don't. I don't think that's the case. The problem is the only reason why it's
telling you, I don't think it's a good idea. Leave that shit up.
Uh,
It's a fucking reminder. Like
get
that
rid
shit.
of those. Get
They,
rid of
they
the
were
statues,
treasonous. They were treasonous.
get rid of the statues and put the truth in the history book. We don't need statues to remind us. We
True.
need for our children to be taught the truth of
Ain't
the
nobody fucking reading.
They ain't gonna
what?
do that though.
They ain't gonna do that. Ain't nobody
They ain't
reading
gonna
no
do that.
books.
They ain't gonna do that one.
Ain't nobody reading. Is that what you said?
These kids ain't fucking reading, man.
Man, I mean, they'll do what they have to do for school. What the hell are you talking about? I mean, they ain't reading about it for pleasure
I mean,
unless
this
they're just
fucking
like,
girl I know, she talking about, oh, my son is so smart. And I was like, what's your name, man? He like chicken nugget. I said,
oh,
what?
what
That's
the
for me.
I mean, if you don't stop with that shit, like, come on, man. Everybody on Facebook has seen that shit.
That's what me.
No, but I mean, telling the truth, like, when the kids over here would come back in, they're like, oh, we're supposed to do this thing for Thanksgiving. All right, I'm looking at it, I'm like, nah, that's some bullshit. Go back, let's write this. We're gonna talk about the Trail of Tears, and you take that back to your teacher. We're gonna do that. We ain't gonna perpetuate that bullshit. This was not some kumbaya type of let's have dinner type situation.
Yeah.
No, let's talk about smallpox. Let's talk about how reservations are. Let's talk about how alcoholism was introduced to,
Mhm.
you know, the native people. I mean, I don't buy into that shit. I also can't stand Black History Month.
I don't even, that shit's so weird. That's the only thing I celebrate is Veterans Day. None of all that Black History Month shit, nah, man, because we got more people than Martin Luther King and Rosa Parks, man. Like, come on, man.
Me and Bear talked about, man, my disdain for Martin Luther King, but that's a
What's
whole
wrong? What's wrong with Martin Luther King?
man. I just ain't never been on board with it, man. I'm a Malcolm guy.
Well, to both of them were prodigies in their own right. Martin
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
definitely scholastically, beyond his years. To graduate from
Oh no,
college
I
at age,
don't.
he was fucking smart.
I guess I need to correct myself. I don't have a problem with the man accomplish for himself. I have a problem with the way that he's considered to be the bar, right? Because the whole, turn the other cheek shit, all of that.
Yeah, docile.
A lot of white people look and be like, "Oh, we love him. That's why he has a holiday,
Who's
right?"
your figure then?
What?
Who's your figure?
My figure?
Yeah. If it ain't you said Malcolm. Is it Malcolm?
That's what
Yeah,
he said, Malcolm.
yeah.
Mhm.
Who's your guy, Los? Farrakhan?
Ooh, a whole nother conversation. I can't
Yeah.
even. They on some bullshit over there. They the reason Malcolm don't exist, but that's a
Right,
whole
right,
other
right.
podcast.
My guy is 50 Cent. That's who my guy is. That's my guy.
Why? I need you to tell me about
He
it.
just said it already. He
He's
said
just so
50 was his
gangster.
dude.
I love
I've
50.
heard you say it before, but I let it ride. But explain to me what 50 does for you that makes you feel like, I mean, I don't know, you want
He
to
motivates me.
hold his lead.
The black American hero, 50 Cent, huh?
He's a Black American hero to me. He's like the guy that did swung the hammer and with the
Thor.
not Thor, but the black folk hero, John Henry.
John. Oh.
He's my John Henry. I fuck with 50. That's my black.
So, how do you feel about him acknowledge, these rappers are all about keeping it real, and it's been that way, I mean, but the new young, they like, yo, yeah, we real out here, right? This is what we do. Um, how do you feel about the concept of him saying like he never drank, he never smoked, he never did any of that?
Yeah,
He he was just 50.
I think that's smart. I think when you're
I think it's smart, but I'm just saying, how do you feel about that? About him putting out what he did into the ethers and children soaking it up and feeling like that's the way to do, and it's something he didn't even do.
I think he just in my opinion, I think majority of the content he put out was more violent, had a more violent tone versus a more druggy tone. Yes, he came out with songs like "High All the Time" and shit like that, but I think his shit was more now violence. Now Future different, right? Future, you listen to some of his content,
yeah.
it's all I'm basically drug head music. And I don't even think that nigga do drugs, to be honest
I
with you.
can't listen to Future. I don't
So
go out to. It annoys the shit out of me. I
I love
cannot
it.
listen to
his
that.
his his, his voice.
I can't even his voice though. That's just auto tune, and I'm like, I can't do that, man. That
You
is
missing out on some really good content, like really good shit.
I can't get past it. I need him to come through and give me an album where he don't have auto
On the
tune
tune on it, yeah.
to it, but I can't deal with that shit.
Like T-Pain.
But yeah, I mean, hey, we have to blame T Pain for that. It's his fault,
Hey, he bought that was his air. That was his he found his niche
and
back
that's what
then, and then he rode that wave.
So
Usher
does that mean
said.
you don't like Roger Troutman?
That's Talkbox. That's a different thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there's the cousin. I mean, it's brother or sister. I mean,
Well, guess what? How many people use the Talkbox? Roger,
George
DJ Quick,
Clinton. Like a lot of them funk artists did. George Clinton used that motherfucker. Roger used that motherfucker.
DJ Quick. Great. Not
Quick.
everybody on the block did.
Right.
And
Yeah.
Quick used it sparingly, right? I mean, what can we say? Safe and sound. You probably can't
Yeah.
see more
Safe sound.
tracks that Quick.
Yeah,
You
yeah, that quick. Yeah, Safe and Sound was one of the ones.
and my son can play music to me back to back, and I cannot tell you who the hell it is.
They
Yeah,
sound the
because
same. A lot of rappers sound the same now.
originality is not looked upon in music as it once was before.
Nope.
But
Fair.
I give these little kids, I give them props, man. I give them props because they're making a way out of no way. That's they making a way out of no way. Even some of them are responsible with their money, some of them are not. But if you can change, if you get an opportunity to change your life by doing something creative, go for it. I mean, the message is fucked up. I get it, but
Well,
more power to you. That's how I look at it. It's fucked up, man.
the accessibility of it has created
That part.
a point where the kids don't know what's real and what's not.
But is that the rapper's fault or is that the parents' fault?
Both.
I don't know that it's so much the parents' fault of the child not knowing the difference between what's real. Like I had to, tell my boy. I mean, he swore to me that all that money was real. I'm like, dude, you don't know about prop money? Like, you don't know about the concept that people rent money now?
Right.
Yeah.
It's not theirs. Those cribs are not theirs. Those women dancing are not there. Those are not their cars.
You need to make him watch. You need to make him watch the Roots video. Never do what they do, what they do, what they do.
They're not gonna get it. They're not gonna get it because, in the same vein of what you were saying, that these kids are making something out of nothing. They all feel like they can get there, but half of them they don't have the discipline, and this whole thing has switched. When we came up, it was a matter of all right. We listen to these rappers because we identify with what they're doing. Right? When we listen to Pimp C, we got it. I mean, we understand that shit.
But don't you ever think when we were growing up, the rapper was a little bit older, and he was raised by baby boomer, right? The new rapper is a lot of them are raised by baby boomers. Don't get me wrong, because of their grandmas, because the dad ain't there, the mom ain't, whatever. But a lot of them is like Chief Keef mom, right? She younger than me, right? But a lot of these rappers is raised by Generation X. Like me and my mom, for instance.
We Gen X. I mean, come on.
Me and my mom, we don't necessarily listen to the same music. The gap is the baby boomer to Generation X gap is way too. Now we appreciate their music, but our music was rap. They didn't fuck with our music, and we only fucked with some of their music, but we respected it because we grew up on it. Me and my daughter, me and my sons, we all listen to the same shit. the the gap is not too far away with Generation X and Millennial, Generation X and Generation Y. The gap ain't that far away. So my daughter listen to NBA YoungBoy. I listen to NBA YoungBoy. Just is what it is.
Right.
You know.
Shit, man. I mean, I think we had time, fellas. There's a couple of different things that we need to continue on this in relation to the music aspect, and
Mm-hmm.
there's a lot, man. I thank you, fellas, for this conversation.
Was this a good one?
Man, I mean, I think we covered some top. This is what we do, man. We just talk about whatever. It's just like a conversation, man.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
th- there's no set topics. So, but yeah, I thank you, fellas. In place of
Problem.
Bear, I will say that Paul and Lowe's and Bear love you. G Nice don't.
That's his favorite saying, ain't it?
All right, peeps.
All right,
Yeah.
y'all.
Yeah, y'all have a great one.
Yeah.